November the 15th at about 12 a.m., the manhunt for Roderick Bowers has led Montgomery County SWAT deputies to an apartment here at the Harmony Park Apartments. Multiple attempts were made to establish contact with the resident of a particular apartment unit, however, none resulted in contact. Fearing for the safety of the resident, the Montgomery County SWAT team members attempted entry into the apartment, at which time 3 shots were fired from inside the apartment. SWAT team members set up a perimeter around that particular apartment and attempted to contact with the occupants, but received no contact. After a brief standoff, entry was made into the residence using a remote robot with a camera, at which time 2 bodies were found deceased inside the apartment. One of the deceased has been identified as Roderick Bowers. The other deceased, an individual, has been identified as a 52-year-old white male resident of the apartment. The victim's name will not be released at this time, pending notification of the next of kin. The scene was secured and the investigation is being conducted by detectives with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Homicide and Violent Crime Unit, along with the Texas Rangers. Judge Beasley, with Precinct 3 Justice of the Peace, has ordered an autopsy to assist in the investigation. This is still a very active scene, and additional details are not available at this time. Right now, we'd just like to extend our thoughts and prayers to the families and victims here in Montgomery County, as well as those in Gulfport, Mississippi.
But they don't think he even knew the person in the apartment, just random, happened to be a random resident they was able to make access to?
That's correct. We don't have any intelligence that says that he knew anybody in this apartment complex. Based on the initial call, the U.S. Marshals and our Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force was looking for him, and when he was spotted, he fled into this apartment complex.
What about the initial stop? I mean, was it a traffic stop, or did they have information that he was in the apartment complex?
It was an apartment complex closer to here, and he was on foot when the Marshals and the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force attempted to apprehend him when he took off.
Okay. And pointed a weapon at him as he fled then?
That's correct. When he realized that the undercovers and the officers who were approaching him were police, that's when he pulled a firearm out and pointed at one of the officers and took off.
So you mentioned, or in the press release, it mentioned that you guys heard gunshots, and then there was a brief standoff, and then you guys sent in the robot, or what was the timeline on that?
Once they made entry once they opened the door, forced entry into the residence, shots had fired out. So at that time they held the where they were at, and then called for the robot, at which time they put the robot into the residence.
So you're thinking he may have shot the guy? And then...
Again, right now that's currently under investigation. It's very preliminary. We don't want to speculate, but that's currently under investigation.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
Okay.
All right.
Is the apartment still locked down, or you have released the...
We have released the residents to return to their apartment. There's no lockdown at the apartment. We're confined now to the one apartment in question where the crime scene is being investigated.
Where is that in relation to where we're at right now? Is it on the first level?
It's on the the actual apartment is a 3rd-story apartment. It's on the far end of the complex. Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank y'all.